Hi, everybody. It's Isabella and Geraldine, and today we're going to be doing another video. Um, I I do have some idea where this is, just simply because Geraldine and I discussed a little bit. She was asking some questions about combining remote viewing and mediumship, and that might be applicable today. So I have been provided with an address, and if you remember, the address is an address that we designate for this location or event. Is there anything I need to add, Geraldine, before I start?
Well, I will say that because you said we were discussing this a little bit, there's a couple different things that happened at this place that we're looking at. You only know one, which is the one we're not doing right now. So basically, you don't really
Correct.
have any information about this. I think we need to say
No,
that too,
no.
you know?
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. So I have the address of, why am I so like I'm having like palpitations right now. Address of AMTY. All right. And Geraldine apparently has lots of notes for this, so hopefully she'll kind of guide and be able to ask questions as needed. So let me begin. All right. If you see me looking away, just remember I'm just kind of scribbling to myself. It's not exactly automatic writing, but it's close as I can come up with. Um, oh, I just don't feel good. Like I anxiety, like it's like walking into something where you know you're just not safe. But I don't know that that applies to physical safety. Like maybe it's abusive area, or it's not okay to talk, or like I shouldn't be there. People maybe shouldn't be there. Um, I know this is a house, but I'm moving beyond that.
I think we
It's
should
like
tell
the
them the date that we're
land
looking
does
at too,
not. Oh, I
because
don't
I
even
don't
have
think
that
that was
written down. What's the date? Sorry, what's the date? I'm kind of
we're
going to
gonna
the
go,
location.
yeah, we're gonna look at November 13th, 1974, and we're gonna do
Okay,
12:01 a.m. I think that was the time that we agreed upon, 12:01 a.m.
gotcha. Okay, so I'm at this location and I am nobody now other than myself remote viewing, and it just doesn't feel good. Like I feel anger, I feel rage, I feel like tyranny, but the ground doesn't feel any better. Like I think that might evoke that out of someone. Hold on. There's something with the land or the ground here. Hold up. What in the world? So I don't really know that I believe in curses or things being cursed, but this definitely feels cursed. Like I would not be surprised if weird things happened here. Like violence, things not going well, people fighting. Like there's a lot of fighting. I don't know how large of a space.
Do you know what it is? Like the quote
No,
unquote
hold on. Let me
curse?
just see these emotions. Like nothing really would be happy there or prosper, but it feels prosperous, like on the outside. But I don't think things like nothing feels like it would be successful. And maybe this is like for a group of people. So maybe this is like an indigenous curse, or oh wait, I'm even getting before that. Like pilgrims. I'm old, so if I use any language that is offensive to anyone, please point it out to me and just know that it is not intentional. This feels like hundreds of years. Like there's literally a tree that I'm seeing that's hit by lightning, and that's and nothing grows, or nothing is very like it's very weird. And this feels money, usury, people were taken advantage of. This is not good. I wouldn't live in that area at all. Um,
I did write two things down about legends of this property.
Give me a second, see if I'm. But it feels outside of just this property. So, like, if the property is a lot that a house is on, it feels that it would extend a little bit on either side of that. I bet there's drownings near here. There's supposed to be lots of death, miscarriages. Things don't
Calamity.
thrive. I mean, like, okay, but like things don't thrive, like a wagon wheel coming off and everybody dying, or like weird stuff. And what you see on the outside is certainly not reflective of the truth. So again, it's like everything looks pretty, but
Yes.
people will go in with very optimistic expectations, but none of that comes to fruition. It's almost like you go in looking like you're 20 years old and you come out a couple of years later and you look like you're 900 and you feel that way. It's like it sucks things out of you. It sucks, it's draining. This ground is draining. And I think it would attract people that are very open to conflict or have no conflict resolution skills, probably. Um, just seeing an older white male, maybe this is late 1700s, early 1800s, maybe town founder or something, or he would feel that he was. Um, abuse, like maligning other groups. I don't know. Am I anywhere close to what you've heard?
Well, there was an original home on this property that was built in 1792,
Did it
and
burn down? Did it like burn?
I don't know if that specific one burned. I don't think it burned. It actually, the home was picked up and moved a couple blocks away because there was like continuous problems
Problem with
between
water
people in the
too.
house.
Yeah, it's like there's something with the water too. So I don't know what that's about. Like water in the place feels bitter and I got no freaking clue. I'm gonna move past
Well,
this. I might go back.
let me tell you about this though, because there was two legends that I had looked up on this. One
Mm-hmm.
was the Montaukett Indians believed the location of Ocean Avenue. This area was a power spot infested by demons. It's said that tribal enemies were left to die on this land, and then they would bury them face down. There was also another legend of um let's see. There was a man who went there. His name was John Ketchum. He was involved with like the Salem witch trials. Um
Okay.
he was forced out of Massachusetts for practicing witchcraft. So he had set up residence in this area, like around the Ocean Avenue property. Um
Mm-hmm.
and it is believed that his body is actually on the property or close to it. Like
Okay.
he had moved there, practiced until his death, from what the legend says.
Hmm. Okay. I get more of the native thing, the
Yeah,
indigenous, and like going back very far prior to that, it's just like the land is bad, the ground is bad, the soil is bad, the air, like, but again, it looks really pretty unless you actually stay there.
you want to hear? You
Somebody
want to
moved
hear? You want to hear what the nameplate of this house is? Like a little sign that they have. It's called High
what?
Hopes. High Hopes.
That seems very fitting. That seems
Yeah.
actually incredible. Like because that's, but I'd really be surprised if that came to
Right.
fruition.
Yeah.
But who knows? Okay, so let
But
me
when they
go
go
to,
there, people think that's going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I could begin because it just looks visually appealing and what could go
Yes.
wrong. It almost looks too perfect, like picture perfect, and that could not be further. Listen, no place is perfect and without incident, but this feels doubly
This is
so.
different,
So,
right?
so I'm gonna go to November 13th, 1974, and try to do as much of this in remote viewing as I can. All right. 1201, older male, father, like he's probably my age, so very young. Um, I'd feel maybe 50s for this guy. I feel angry. I feel drunk. I feel belligerent, tyrant. This maybe is the tyrant guy. He rules this place with like a very iron fist. I think people are afraid of him, particularly family members. Like no one, you wouldn't argue with him. Hold on, there's like religion he uses for justification. So you know what? Maybe that Salem witch trial thing, that would make sense because I feel like this older male, would use his almost feels very fundamental beliefs to justify. I'm going with abuse because they're like, even if it's just verbal, but I think it's beyond that. Just he uses that. I think people are afraid of him outside of this house as well too. Yeah. Um, but also there's like an awe and a reverence that some people. This is weird. Maybe he was like, I don't know. If he was religious, he warped it. Okay, so I've got him. He feels awake and alert, or let me correct myself. He feels a little buzzed, but he's awake. Seeing if I see anyone else awake. No, there are people in the home. So this is a home, but they're sleeping. I'm feeling a lot of females in this place, but the male energy feels much stronger, and I think it's the dad. Okay, let me move ahead. I think like 12:34, 12:35 a.m., 12:40. Certainly before 1 a.m., there's a vehicle coming up. It's old. Like, I don't know if it's a VW, but I don't know. Um, there's some muffler issues on this. Like it's no, like it has a very distinct sound. Um, coming up, the person that's in the individual male, heavily intoxicated. But that does not feel abnormal for this male. So maybe there's addiction with him. I don't know. 23, 24, 22 to maybe 26. But I'm going to kind of focus on about the age of 24 with this male in the vehicle. Um, I think he medicates or has this issue to kind of tap down his rage because he feels very impotent to me. Like I can't do anything about this. But at that age, I'm wondering, am I close on the age of the male in the car, or would you know? Like it's
Yeah,
weird.
he's actually 23. I'm looking at my notes here while we're talking or while
Okay,
you're doing
cool.
this.
Okay, because like I'm wondering, why are you living there if this is so uncomfortable for you? But I feel his connection with the females, like he feels like he can protect them in some way. All right, I'm gonna keep going. There's conflict with he and dad. So there's a garage door he's coming in through. So I don't know if something is attached to the house, but I feel like he's opening up a door and then going into the house, but it feels on the side of the house or rear. This is not a front door that I see him going into. Um, like there's yelling, but this doesn't feel unusual, and it would not be a surprise to anybody in the house. Like there's just arguing, like you effing this, and like it's unpleasant, but it doesn't feel new. The older meal downstairs in like a living room area, he's just inside, like raging. Um, the younger male, I feel like there's stairs in the house. So he goes up the stairs. He's still getting like castigated and yelled at, and uh like he's showing me he's deceased. This younger male is deceased, and I'm seeing through his eyes, like I'm sitting there getting more angry and angry, and like he's showing me his fist coming up like this, and like I'm muttering under my breath. Like I'm looking for something to grab. I don't know if there's a baseball bat or pipe or something. I feel like this younger male hit the older male, which I'm going to assume is his father. Um, like to just shut up. And like his rage is coming out. There's a weapon, another weapon. Where is this weapon at? Hold on. I think the dad was beaten with this other weapon first. There's a female upstairs that I think is awakened by this. 14, 16. I'm going to go closer to 14, 13, 14. The younger male, so perhaps this is her brother, goes upstairs and kind of go back to bed, go back to sleep, something like that. She knows something's wrong. Male, so I feel a weapon. I'm getting through his eyes. A weapon is in a parent's room. Um, it's like a shotgun. Is this a long rifle? Is this a rifle and not a handgun? Because I think it's a rifle or a shotgun.
Yes,
Was
it's a
there a
rifle.
shotgun used? Okay, because this is not a handgun. Like I'm feeling, I think mom was shot first in bed. There's a glass of water next to her, and she's like not even awake, so she's shot. The 14. I'm gonna go with 14 because that's how old she feels psychologically to me. Like
She's actually
terror. Like
13.
okay, I feel like I'm cold sweat and like panic, but I'm frozen. Um, there's another male, younger, 17, 18. Is there another male in the house, like 17, 18, 19?
Um, no, not that age.
Younger,
Yeah,
like 12?
yes.
Okay, he's awake. There's maturity with this kid, though, which is maybe why I feel like I'm placing him a little bit older. He just knows to keep his mouth shut. Like he keeps his mouth shut. Like if I keep my mouth shut, nobody messes with me. Like the abuse goes to someone else. Um, yeah, this is an act of rage, like just rage. So this 23, 24-year old, he just loses his shit. Like he absolutely loses it. Um, So I feel there's two more. Like, I don't know if they're in the same bedroom or not, but I feel like boom, boom. So maybe two in a room. But that feels male, female. I don't know. Um, then there's another female. This is that 14, 16-year-old one. Um, but I feel like this is just literally making me sick. I feel like he said something to her before, like, shh, no, nothing. This is freaking creepy. Like, no, no, everything's fine, or trying to get her to lay back in bed or do something um before he used a weapon on her too. She survived a little while. I don't think her transition was immediate. This is just horrible. Like I'm crazed. As I'm this male, I'm just crazed. Like I know what this sentence feels like, family annihilations, but they're planned. This feels unplanned, but like exactly that. And like I'm heavy breathing, and I don't know if this is a dream or not. So that like absolutely a break from reality, except with the father and the mother, break from reality. Because I'm having a sense of okay, let me just get everybody out, and make up the story. But he's telling me nope. Started now, like I've already started. This has everything to do with the father. So I'm going with the father is incredibly abusive, incredibly a tyrant. Um, I don't know how much I'm attributing to the land because I kind of think the dad might have been that way before and this might have exacerbated it. I think people just do things they would not do. normally.
Right. They actually,
The
sorry, go ahead.
no, uh, it's very disturbing. This
Well,
is very not good.
they moved here in 1965, right? And by 1973, it seems like the violence and abuse had escalated within the family of all of them.
Okay, so mom's getting abused. The
Right.
I would not be surprised if there was SA. Is that how I'm supposed to say it? I don't know.
Yeah.
This is so disgusting. This is so bad. Um, I mean, obviously you shouldn't go around shooting people, but I think this male feels pushed. Like I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. And so I'm going a few minutes after. So this is well done before 2:15. This is well completed before 2:15 a.m. But I'm still like he's losing time or he's losing track of time. That may be his inebriation because I'm seeing him kind of coming in and out of this. There's a big clock, so I think it's like a grandfather clock or something because he showed me that ticking, and then he's back sitting on top of stairs. I have something underneath this that does not happen. So he's in and out, in and out. And when I say that, I just mean moments of being more like I just feel so intoxicated that I'm not really having great recall. Like he knows what happened, but he's so drunk. He doesn't know what
Was
happened.
he drunk or is he on drugs?
I feel really drunk. I don't know if there were drugs involved. I'm not getting like heroin, but there's probably marijuana.
Well, it
These feel to
is
be depressants. So
from what I watched, it said that he had got like after this abuse escalated is when he started to get into
mhm.
like heroin, LSD, speed, those types of things.
I'm not denying that, but I'm just saying right
Yeah.
now I'm
Yeah.
not feeling any of that. I just really feel so drunk, like so wasted. Um, okay, I'm gonna need you to move me way past this for a little bit. So hold on. I'm gonna move myself past it. So it's daylight or the sun's starting to come up. I feel slightly more awake and kind of very confused. Um, like, oh, bad dream. That was a bad dream. But I think within moments, I'm trying to get him to show me time. It's about like 8 a.m. Nope, this is like 7:40 a.m. Nope, he's done it wrong. Like 7:25 a.m. Like kind of rousing. I don't think he was in bed. I don't think he was sleeping in a bed because I just kind of feel like I'm awake. Coming down. No, he was downstairs already saying there's a rather large table, rectangular table in the home. So like passing out with my head on that. Um, like drooling and slobbering. I'm just hungover. Um, and it's quiet. And for a second, I don't remember what happened. That doesn't last 10 seconds. And he's showing me kind of getting up, going and looking at the father, who I think has to be found downstairs. And like if I walk in the front door to my left, um, because there's like bodies all over. I don't know what I can say on this without getting censored, but like
Well,
I feel
let
there
me
were
ask you this.
people all over the house.
Did he move them?
Hold on. I feel like I'm taking children and putting them in the same room. Um, I don't know. It's not showing me that. If so, it has not happened by the time I'm with him. So it's still morning. I'm like every this is shock. Like this is what shock feels like. I'm cold. I'm in shock. I don't know that there's a lot of emotions, and I feel drinking again would have begun almost immediately after that. So like he's starting to drink because like no, like I can't. None of this is real. This is not real. Um, so there's a grandfather with him. understand what that's about. He's just showing me his grandfather being there, but I think the grandfather is in spirit. Um, so I would say at this point, this is psychosis or dissociative disorder that he's experiencing, or literally he saw his grandfather in there. But he thinks this man, who's he's identifying as grandfather, is kind of telling him how to set this up, how to stage this. So this is probably a delusion of his. I don't think this man is schizophrenic, but this absolutely feels like a delusion. Um, yeah, he's identifying him as his grandfather. There's something with his dad, criminal. Hold on, what? Like he's seeing this man he identifies as his grandfather, as saying your dad's a criminal, say your dad's a criminal, like someone I don't know what that means. Like people would buy that his dad is a criminal and maybe somebody else would do this, like
Oh,
money.
like a setup saying someone,
Yeah.
yeah, I
But
see what
it's
you're
like
saying.
he's a criminal and people know he's a criminal. So I don't know what the heck that's about. Like this is criminal activity. So that felt like a good idea to kind of say that. He's lost all touch with reality at this point. Um, like was his dad a criminal?
I don't know. I didn't see anything about that.
Like
It
I feel
seems
like
like
his
it,
dad might have been a criminal or like had ties to like a criminal organization. So I don't know if this is mafia. I don't know. To this guy that just shot everyone, that feels like a really good idea. And the man that he's calling his grandfather is encouraging this. Again, I just this feels psychosis to me, but he could have had his grandfather there. I don't know. I don't want to definitively say that because he's very sure. Telling me his grandfather told him to say this. Um, like the mob, mafia, criminal, thief, like somebody that would beat your kneecaps if you didn't pay money. So I'm drinking. The television is on, 2 p.m. I'm still out of my freaking mind and I'm getting drunker and more high. And I think at this point, maybe the harder drugs would come in. So he showed me like an old cigar box. And again, I'm probably the oldest one around here. It's like an old cigar box. It feels like a stash in it. This might be a point for LSD. Um, that feels definitely there's marijuana, but this might be something else. And so I'm like beginning to kind of what is he doing? Just not where the neighbors, like, why has no one noticed this? He doesn't know and he doesn't care. So that's hard for me to understand why nobody would observe
it's
that, like,
funny that
there's nothing happening in this house.
it's funny that you said that because that was always, I guess, the documentary that I watched about this, that was the big question. It was like, how did nobody hear this
Right? Like, even if
or
you didn't hear
anything?
it, why are you not noticing kids coming in and out? Or like, oh, like there's a milk delivery even. I'd really like to know if we can validate that. Like there's deliveries at the house and he's showing me like milk bottles. So, and I know that they did that when I was alive. So, and I was alive then. Um, like no one is noticing this. There's a station wagon. Nothing's moved. Like this is so weird. But that makes me think that maybe neighbors were intimidated by this dad, this older man in this home. Like, "Oh, I don't want to see why everything's quiet." Like nobody wants to be the one
Right.
who goes to investigate. Like I think people are afraid of him. Um, okay. Let me move forward. So now it's starting to kind of like I'm at 6 o'clock. So I'm drinking. Like I need to go somewhere. I can't be in this house with all these bodies. Like the smell. Like he's freaking out. So he's like trying to formulate a plan. This is again the 23, 24-year-old. So he's got this story. Like it's a bullshit story. It's a total bullshit story. Um, He doesn't know where he's going. Like, I want to go to the police. I want to go here. I want to go there. I'm going somewhere familiar. I don't know where he's going that's familiar, but there's lots of people. Maybe it's a bar.
Yeah.
And he's a wreck. Like, he's a freaking wreck. Like, he is not showered. He's a wreck. Like, there might even be blood on us. Like, he's a freaking wreck. But like, minus the blood, the disheveledness doesn't feel that unusual for him. But I feel like somebody sees him, like, what? What? And then this bullshit story starts to come out. Like, this has got to be like he's telling people something like JFK killed my family, or like like it's so crazy. It's almost would be met with a lot of skepticism if it wasn't for how disheveled he looks. Then somebody there, this is a payphone, this is a bar, this is a bar. The bartender is like calling, but like I don't believe it, but I'm gonna believe it. And then here we go. So like a policeman comes there, because it's so unbelievable. And then I feel people at the house too. So like this whole family was wiped out. I think there was a dog that was spared. He just keeps showing me a dog. I'm not 100% certain on that, but like his story is such, I know I'm not supposed to curse on this, but it's such bullshit. Like it's so crazy. Um, but some people are kind of sympathetic to him, but not. All right, how am I doing? I mean, is any of this right?
Yeah, I mean, even, well, the bar thing, even I went back and forth on, because I think the problem with this place is that over the years, many people have, looked at it, thought about it, wrote about it, all of these things. And I think there's multiple different things about this place that people put out, right? That we don't really know are true.
Um,
I mean, even this, you talking about the bar, I had found the thing that I watched just said the following night he had called the cops to report this, and he had ended up confessing hours later. Well, before we did this, I was looking at a couple different things, and there was one where a bar got brought up. So I didn't even have that note.
I think he went to this bar because he's showing me sitting in like this vehicle. I don't know if it's a station wagon or not, but I know there's a station wagon on having to do somewhere with this property. Like looking at a police station, like, should I do it? Should I do it? Should I do it? And like, I need more liquid courage or F it. I'm not going to do it. And I feel I'm going to someplace familiar. But like, this guy is scruffy looking. He's not well put together on his best day. So I think looking at him, people might just go, oh, that's whoever. And then on closer examination, kind of seeing like, maybe there's blood splatter. Oh, I feel like there's something wrong that people go, okay. So I do believe police were called to this bar. And one person came out, and then and then police were sent to this other location, which would be this home, this residence. So
Do you
that's what I'm
think
getting.
do you think that like the property and the stuff heightened all of this?
Since I've already done a little bit of cursing, I'm gonna say maybe with the male, because the older male, because he just feels like an asshole, like just a raging megalomaniac tyrant. Yeah, I do not care for him at all. That
Well,
might
and
have
the religious thing you
exacerbated
were right
it. Oh,
the
like
religious thing
he's
that you were talking about too is right, because like the I guess that they were an Italian Catholic family, right? And I don't think
maybe
that
that's the mob stuff that I'm getting. Okay, because I felt like, why
maybe,
is he gonna say mob did this? Like, it's not that.
but I don't think while they were living there, religion was a big thing. And then 6 months prior to this happened, I guess that the father thought that, well, this is from what I was watching, right? The father thought that
Mm-hmm.
the devil was in the house. And at that point, religion was introduced into the house that I guess he had
See, that doesn't feel right to me. I don't feel that's correct. I feel
you don't
that
think that's
this
right?
religion, no, I don't. I think religion had maybe in a cursory way like they go to mass, okay? But then it feels like that would just become heightened and heightened and heightened, and then there would be some uh, like hard line of this, or feel like I'm a channel of God, or so, or God told me to do this, or something. Because like I see then the family being forced to pray or repeat they like it's
What about an
nobody in this house
exorcism?
as well. See, my uh, hold on. I think if you are mentally unstable in any way, shape, or form, at any kind of slant to being neurotic, to having any kind of religious fervor, that you would not do well. I don't think anybody would do well, but I think those people would be very strongly affected. I don't, I mean, maybe now, I think an exorcism has been done though on this property. Hold on. I think like a few, but I don't think that's stopped anything or would stop or was successful because this feels older than religion in some way. Like it's just
Do you
bad
think
ground. I think if you were to dig under several hundred feet, like you'd find dinosaur bones or I don't know. This is just I would not live anywhere in this area. Period. The end. Wouldn't do it. Wouldn't do it. Wouldn't do it. Like the whole place feels heavy, yucky. Like I'm moving through sludge. I don't like it. I don't like it.
it's haunted? Is it haunted here?
Luckily, I don't feel that it is now, which thank God. I visited a couple of prisons that were closed down just for fun. And I was so relieved to not see a lot of people in spirit stuck there because my God, the worst place in the world that you are, you die and then you're stuck in that place. So I don't know. There might be a little bit of residual energy that's there, but I think whatever's in the ground is still there. Heck yeah, that doesn't feel like that's gone. Um, like you would really have to kind of live a monastic life, and I think even then you would be pulled toward these weird thought processes or go down rabbit holes. Like nobody comes out of here healthy and mentally well. I don't care. Like you just don't. So if you have children, send them away to boarding school. Like if you couldn't live in this place and prosper. Like you just it would be very hard for that even today. So I think people's understanding of exorcism might be different than mine. I just feel whatever is in this dirt or whatever this curse is, um, would be the cause of it, and it would maybe draw people there that that would work a little bit more effectively on. I don't know.
Wow.
I
Okay.
can tell from the way you
I
said
don't know
that,
if
probably not what you expected to hear. But
but
again,
well,
this is what
no, I
I'm
mean,
getting. I mean, you could talk to 100 other people and get something different. This is my
right.
feelings on this. It just feels more. Hold on. So there are things like, okay, so let me go back and talk to this dude who is deceased. What's his name? Do you know his first name?
Well, he goes by Ronnie or Butch.
Let's do Ronnie. No, I don't think that's the name. Okay, let's do Butch. Um, so he's not in this location. Like he doesn't want to be in that location, but this feels so crazy to say. It's like these things flying through the air, they almost look like flying monkeys. So they go, but it's like not. Um, I'm wondering how much of this though might just be his hallucination. But he does not appear to be intoxicated now. He's showing me kind of the things that are around there. So there are these like evil looking things he's showing me, kind of Wizard of Oz flying through the air, and landing on things. I'm struggling because I think this might be what he saw, or his
Right.
understanding. I do not see these things currently. That does not mean anything. That just means that I don't currently see them. Let me just walk. Let me do some remote viewing instead of talking to him. This place now feels very, it looks, not feels, looks very serene. Everything looks calm and peaceful. There's water around. There's a small, like maybe people sail back there. Like it looks perfect. And something about the house has been changed. Not just the address, but like windows, exterior, something has been updated. Um, it just feels way too quiet, like way too quiet, like eerily quiet. And I know it's winter, but this just kind of still feels macabre. So I don't know. Maybe those flying monkey looking things could still be around. Um, I just also feel that you would see maybe people walking across the yard that look um like they had drowned, but were not, like they just look like no affect. I don't know that any very many people would see this. Like I see it. Um, but to be very fair, there are not a lot of places in the world where that people have died everywhere. So I don't know that that's highly unusual. Might be somebody's done some like dark stuff here too.
Are people living there today? I don't even know. I guess we should tell people that this is the Amityville
I would
house.
kind of not be I would not be surprised if somebody lived there, but I'm feeling maybe not young children would be in the house or like minor children. But like maybe back in the 50s, 60s, there might have been mm, Ouija board or somebody summoning something or just regular kid stuff, but something darker than that as well too. Also, this guy Butch is telling me like he kind of participated in some of that, but I don't know how much that was done on the property, and I'd be surprised if any if Dad was around because Dad feels freaking nuts. So I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna
Yeah,
stop
we
here.
can stop here. So
Okay.
we already know, but this is the Amityville house. And I think this is in Long Island. They actually did end up changing the address, which was weird because I think it was 112 and they changed it to like 108 or something. But I think they did
Okay.
update it now that I was thinking about that, that you
It
said it.
doesn't look the same, but it's the same place, and like I feel like there's water behind it somewhere.
There is.
Um, it looks beautiful. I wouldn't even drive on the street. Would not do it. I wouldn't go anywhere near this place. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I wouldn't.
I wouldn't
So
either.
I'm
All
not
right.
sure. I don't. Do you want to do the part moving forward, or do you think we've got? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
obviously not right
Well,
now.
and let me say this. I think there's two famous things that happened here, right? I think the more
And
recent
I
one
think yeah,
is
is
another
what people are
family,
familiar with. Yeah,
right?
I
People are
think that's
familiar
kind of
with, but
yeah.
this is the DeFeo family that is here that we're, dealing with now. And this was the main event. And obviously, I
Okay,
think throughout the years, there's been issues
I'm
with
going
the
to
place.
correct you. This is not the main event. I'm going to correct. Sorry, I'm interrupting. I think there were events before this, and I
Oh,
don't know that there's been anything as bad after this. But like, I don't
right.
think this is the only
Oh, no, 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 no. There were,
multiple death that's happened on this
right,
location or in a very close proximity. Like this place just feels like this is where people go to have freak accidents or have weird stuff happen and die.
right. Yes, some stuff that I was watching, there was a woman talking about it, that every single homeowner that she was able to find had a calamity
Hmm.
happen, right? Where it was like either be drowning or whatever. But I'm just saying this one,
Okay.
I think that this
Because like there's lots of
situation,
people that look drowned walking in the yard. Like they're just
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
walking around like a zombie. And I think you could still see that today.
Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
she did talk about that about somebody like I think she was talking about one specific person. She didn't name it. But I think there's been
Hmm.
multiple things. But I mean, I think what put the house on the map, so to speak, is the DeFeo situation where
Obviously. Like
Ronnie
obviously that's
Butch,
correct. Yeah.
right. So that's what I was talking about. But yeah. So yeah, I don't know. We'll
All
think
right.
about doing the other one. There's another set which I don't think anything happened to them because I was watching a documentary about this yesterday and they were in it, but I think some weird things happened. So we'll see. We might do it, we might not. We'll
Okay.
see.
It's like
All
Wheel of
right.
Fortune. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye.